So Ayurveda is the science of living in balance with nature. And we could go down all sorts of avenues with Ayurveda, but for tonight, it's not necessary. In Ayurveda cooking, the idea is to bring balance, and we incorporate the 6 tastes because with 6 tastes, with all the different tastes, you feel more satiated. So if you think about, like if you've ever been really on the go and you're like, I just have this chicken. That's all I'm gonna eat is chicken. And then you get done, you're like, well, I kinda need something crunchy or something sweet or whatever. You're like missing different tastes. And you might not know why. You know, you're just like, I'm just like still hungry. So with the 6 tastes, it allows your body and all the cells in your body to be really nourished and satiated. I'm just gonna come around here. I have this, I'll kind of walk around with this, but this is like one of my favorite cookbooks. It's a contemporary take on Ayurvedic cooking. So knowing that not everybody wants to eat curried and spiced things all the time, it gives like a more wide approach to Ayurvedic cooking. But they talk about building a 6 taste bowl. Also, you might hear them call like a balance bowl. And so it goes through like the 6 tastes, which are sour, sweet, salty, pungent, astringent, and bitter. So sour things might be like lemon or lime, citrusy things. Sweet could include grains, but also healthy fats like avocados, coconut oil, some nuts, different things like that. So you can kind of think about sweet in a different way. And the salty, you might think of like seaweed, or using like a mineral salt, different things like that. There are different foods that have more of a salty taste, like coconut aminos are another one. Pungent foods, so things like ginger, cumin. I think of like cilantro, but I think that's actually astringent. Let's see, what else do they give for a pungent? Black pepper, and then like garlic and onions, things like that. Astringent is going to be like sprouts, cilantro, that type of food. And bitter, you can kind of think of like bitter greens. So a lot of green things have that bitter taste to it. You can pass this around if you would like, just kind of pass it down the line.
I know it's not with this system, but they always talk about the umami. Is that kind of a different taste than these, or does it fit into one of these?
I would say the umami is, so you want to think like savory, but I think of like the coconut aminos having that that savory taste, yeah. So yeah, feel free to pass that along, or if you'd like to take a screenshot of it or anything, feel free to do. So it can be vegetarian only. In Ayurvedic principles, they suggest using maybe like having like 20% meat in any given dish. So like a small amount of meat is okay. And then there's different concepts as far as like what types of meat, maybe not so much red meat or so much pork, things like that. Yeah. So in the dish that we're making tonight, we're going to make it vegetarian. It could be raw. Again, Ayurvedic cooking is more on the cooked side of things as opposed to eating foods raw, because our digestive system, it takes so much more work for it to heat up the food inside of us and to break it down to a usable form. So like if you think maybe in winter you don't like salad as much, I think of like eating a salad in the winter and I'm like, I just don't really want salad in the winter. But in the summer, it might be a little bit easier for the body to use that. So with this dish, we're gonna do it cooked tonight. It could be raw. It would be more like a salad in a sense. And you could add meat to it. You could like do some like chicken breast on the side and cut it up into pieces and add that in. A vegetarian version that I've done before is the Quorn brand, the Quorn brand. They have little chicken bites, and I just cook those on the side and then add it close to the end of the cooking time. So we'll do vegetarian tonight. One question, are you guys good with like helping out with cooking tonight? Yeah? Okay. If you really don't want to, that's okay, but I just think it would be more fun if we all like pitched in and yeah, and work together. So maybe I'll have everybody like wash their hands and we'll get started.
Okay.
So you can come up, there's soap and there are towels over here. So what we need to do, if I can see that recipe, is, let's see, let's make the almond butter. So we'll have a few of you work on making the almond ginger dressing, and then a few can spiralize vegetables, and or we can just like a few people can work and a few can watch, and
I'm happy to watch.
trade duties.
To start.
Okay. All right. So if somebody wants to come and measure out ingredients for the dressing, that would be great.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
And I've got the amounts on my phone because we're going to make about 4 times what the recipe calls for. Yeah, so we're going to make kind of a double batch. And the amount on the recipe would be good for the amount of vegetables also on the recipe. But if you are using like a whole zucchini, whole carrot, whole beet, you're going to end up with more than what's listed there because it's like a half a cup of zucchini, half a cup of beets. So I kind of do 1 to 2 of like zucchini, carrots, and then just make more dressing. And if you have extra, like a peanut type sauce is pretty good on pretty much anything. Okay, so we've got 8 tablespoons of almond butter, which is this, yep.
And this is not, is this 8 tablespoons in here?
I don't know.
You don't. Okay. All right.
You're not getting out to it that easily, Susan.
Do that work for you.
Let's see. Yep. Yeah, here's like a little spoon you can, yep. And why don't we get some other spiralizing vegetables? Just grab this. Okay, so let's spiralize veggies over here. And so this just clips down. And somebody else want to spiralize vegetables? No?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Unless someone wants to.
No, not
Go ahead.
definitely.
I'll do the KitchenAid one. I'll do the zucchini on the KitchenAid because
Okay.
KitchenAid doesn't like hot chips.
Oh, and you're used to it, right?
Yeah.
There you
I think this might be just a tad
do know
less
how to do
than
that.
8.
go. Okay. Let's see. I think we might. So for this, let's see. So we're gonna stick one end there. Actually, let's do the bigger end on that side, and we actually just need a bowl. Let's see. Let's try this. Oops.
Other way? There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
So you'll just hold that there, and then just start. Do you have enough?
It's probably 7.5
And then the next thing is going to be 8 tablespoons of water. How's the carrot going, Desmond?
It broke. So I think
That happens.
I got this.
So depending on the like how big around your carrot is, will depend on if you get like long spirals or if they're just like short little guys. Yep. And while they're doing, yep, you're good. You got the water, and then oh, I see what's happening.
It's like there's a flaw.
I was like, oh, a bowl will be fine. And then there's a little dish that came with it, but it's like a long flat, but like that's why it's long and flat. Okay.
But these are pretty expensive.
I mean, if you already have the KitchenAid, attachment's not too bad, but
Right. If you need the whole.
yeah, I mean, that size. I think ours, yeah, is probably, ours was free because.
And then, yep, 4 tablespoons of cider vinegar.
That's so weird.
While they're doing that, so the kelp noodles in the recipe come like this. They come in like a bag with a bit of water in, and they're like this. Kelp noodles don't really have a taste to them, but they're kind of crunchy. If you think like water chestnuts have that crunch and you're like, why don't they soften up kind of thing? Kelp noodles are similar. So what I'm gonna do is just put some hot water or warm water with them, and yep. Sorry about that.
Teaspoons toasted sesame.
Yep, the toasted sesame oil over there. So we're just gonna put warm water in here and let them soak for a while to just kind of soften them up. Maybe.
Yeah, you're gonna want to go this way all the way. There you go.
It's a beet.
Okay.
That might go better in the KitchenAid, I'm thinking, just because it's kind of.
Okay, I'll trade you because this doesn't like my current.
Okay.
I don't want to.
Here you go. Yep. Does anyone want to grate ginger? Are you guys?
Do you want to have a go at this? How much ginger do you need?
Let's do. We need, yeah, I think all of it would be good. I'll send it over. So, I need that ginger, and let's see. Actually, I just need these cut in half. Yeah, you kind of just like. Oh, we actually have to put the ginger in the sauce too. That should be pretty good. Okay, so next up, so the kelp noodles have been soaking for a bit here, and we're just gonna drain off the water. And I'll bring this over here. With all of these, if you have really long strands of anything, I like to just chop it up. I typically, I'll just do it in the pan with like a kitchen scissors, but we don't have a kitchen scissors, so we're gonna we're just gonna cut them before. Otherwise, they're like really long. Yeah, and you kind of just gotta pull them apart. Kelp noodles are kind of a strange thing, but they don't have flavor. They more just have some crunch. And that's our like salty type flavor.
I don't think I've ever seen it before.
Yeah, I hadn't either, and but I kind of like them. So we'll just set those to the side then. So I mean, if you like all of your stuff really long and stringy and spirally, you can just keep it long too. Find that with the veggies. What's that?
Probably make a good fold.
Right. Yeah. And I think the carrots they were pretty
Oh yeah, they're broken.
short anyways. Yeah. All right. So we've got our sauce made. How are the zucchini?
They probably are longer than
Long.
beets.
Okay. With the beets, also you could use a red beet. It turns everything pink. So we opted for the golden beet, but like you could definitely. And it doesn't matter if things mix because everything's going to go together anyways. I think before we start cooking, we're gonna open these and put them in a bowl. So we've got some toppings for our dish. That to the side. And the shelled edamame found in the freezer section. So we'll set that over there, done with the ginger grater. And cilantro will be a topping as well. Is anyone a vegetarian? You guys vegetarians? Any special food preferences or restrictions or no?
Gluten and dairy free.
Okay, nice.
I don't see it.
No. Oh, you're all good there. I was gonna say it's a great dish for like meeting the needs of a lot of different dietary restrictions or needs. Yeah. And even if people don't like beets typically, like my boyfriend's like, beets, he still eats it. Yeah, I mean peanut sauce, it's like good on everything. So, okay, so we've got our carrots, beets, zucchini, kelp noodles, edamame. That's all gonna go into the pan. I'm just gonna set this off to the side and heat up a bit. And we're gonna use coconut oil. You could use any oil. You could use a sesame oil or olive oil. Yeah. Grapeseed, yeah. And everything cooks fairly similarly as far as how long it takes, so we can really just like throw it all in the bowl. Probably for the sake of measuring things out and whatnot, we'll I don't always measure the vegetables, but it's about we'll use this one. It's about, we're gonna do 2 cups because it's 4 recipes. So we'll do 2 cups of each and then we'll see how that goes. I like this recipe because it doesn't have to be exact. Yeah. So for those who aren't extra attentive to measurements, it's like perfect. probably be about all the carrots. That. And also, just depending on how much you want everything cooked, you could cook it more or less. Breaks up that flavor, and then you just get like a little bit of it. Yeah. So just let everything cook for, you know, it's like maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Just until it starts to soften up. Yeah.
The beets, the carrots, the cilantro, cucumbers for the water were all local. So
Oh,
if that's
nice.
important to you, we're still getting local products. Right now. And
Nice.
the carrots, yeah.
You said you were trying to do an Ayurveda thing online.
Oh,
What
yeah.
kind of thing are you
It's
doing?
basically a whole course on the nutrition side.
Okay.
I just haven't read all the things yet. but
Yeah.
put as much of it in the
Yeah, there's really a lot to it. It can go pretty in depth, and I just did an Ayurvedic nutrition thing online as well, and it was supposed to be like a 30-day program, and I went through it a lot slower. I'm just gonna turn this down, and then we'll add the sauce. Is everybody good with the sauce being all mixed into it? Yep.
One says 15.
Probably just whatever's at the bottom of the blender.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, so we're gonna start with that.
Oh, yes.
And so here we quadrupled the recipe, but you can always just like decide how much sauce you want on there. Oh, we gotta put the edamame on there too. The edamame, it's saying 1/4 a cup, so we'll do, where'd my cup go? There it is. We'll do 1 cup. Should have maybe added that a little bit earlier because it's frozen, but it'll heat up.
Who are you doing your training with?
I am doing my training with a place called Hale Pule Ayurveda and Yoga. And she is currently located in Bali, but she's an American woman. Whoops.
From Minnesota.
No. Yeah, it's a 600-hour Ayurvedic health counselor training. I'm only on the 2nd module. The first one was a dietary reset, a whole nutrition program, and also lots of really cool like lifestyle changes and things too, but a pretty big shift from what I was doing, and so it's really interesting to experience some of that. Yeah.
So what were the like big 3 things that you learned to do differently?
I learned that eating less often is probably more helpful, so your body has a chance to digest your food before you have the next meal. I've learned a lot about cooking like balanced bowl style meals and just like differences in augmenting and extracting vegetables. So in that program, they use like a 60-40 blend of augmenting to extracting foods. So maybe not as much greens and a little more like carrots, beets, sweet potatoes, things like that. And what would another one be? I don't know, there's like so much to it. I think the other thing that I've been learning is that's really important is creating routine in your day. So like what time you go to bed, you should go to bed by 10 and wake up by 6, just as far as that goes. But now that it's darker out, I don't do as well getting up by 6. I'm very much a person that rises with the sun, and yeah, so that'll be a little more challenging, but definitely like just creating bits of time in the morning for routine has been important. Yeah, I think I'll let everybody put cilantro on themselves, so that's kind of a varying taste, but this is ready.
Do the sprouts go in the wok, or are those garnished like cilantro?
They're garnish like cilantro, yeah. Thank you for joining us for the 6 Taste class. I'm Jessica with Rooted in Wellness.